Thank you so much for your time this evening. It's time for Fashion Watch. My name is Lillian Muli, and we're glad you're watching. Kindly use the hashtag Fashion Watch to send in your style-related questions and comments. And, of course, use the SMS number 22422 to forward your questions to our panel of experts. And to introduce them to you, Annabelle Onyango had the wedding of the year, actually the best wedding ever seen in this country, and I think the world over. Congratulations, Annabelle.
Thanks, Lil.
We're so happy for you.
Thank you.
This is Annabelle Onyango, celebrity fashion stylist, and she's our resident panelist here on Fashion Watch. Also with us is Robert Burale. Interesting sweater, Robert. Very cute. Robert Burale is an image consultant and a motivational speaker. And also with us tonight is award-winning fashion journalist Carol Odero, and she is with us every Saturday right here on the Fashion Watch. And also with us tonight, celebrity judge from Tusker Project fame, thespian director, very loved Ian Bogwa with us in studio. Tonight we're doing things a little bit differently. We have with us Liz Ogumbo, a Kenyan fashion designer based in South Africa. Tonight we host the performing artist and radio host and get to look at her 2015 collection, Be Lady O. We'll be looking at her designs shortly, but before that, a performance from the lady herself.
Hey, hey, hey. Doop, 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 da ba da ba da ba. Doop, doop, da ba da ba da ba. Doop, 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 da ba da ba da ba. Born around 78. Few months early, they call me premature. They say I couldn't wait. Grew until the Jew was on for sure. Few years later, and a bit more mature, trying to find me to my space and culture. Then Georgie called me ugly, said my skin was dark, I was tall and skinny. Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Doop doop da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 ba ba da ba 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 ba. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy went away. Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and got them high. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away, so far away, so far away. He sure did run so far away. None of the boys came my way. They said I wasn't cute anyway. Woohoo! Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Doop 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 da ba da ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Hey.
So this is Liz Ogumbo. Liz, welcome to Fashion Watch. Thank you very much for making time for the show. Before we take a look at your designs, Liz, and we'll be talking to you a little bit more, and the panelists will also be critiquing your pieces, why the fashion meets music concept?
I think for me, fashion is my life and my soul. Music is my other soul. And one of the things I do is I try to find a way to fuse my music with my fashion. I always say that as a brand living in this world today, you have to be very careful to find some sort of positioning that sets you apart from the other brands. There's a billion fashion designers out in the world. There's a million musicians out in the world. And what sets me apart from them is that I can actually run a show and perform live, have a girl band right by my side, and also just kind of translate my lyrics into my fashion and kind of push it back and forth. So for me, creativity is something that comes from the soul. You can be able to create in different ways. The fact that, or the way that you can be able to present your creative stories, like I share my stories, my Kenso stories, and I call them Kenso because my soul is Kenyan. And even though I live in different spaces, I've been able to go into different spaces in the world. I've allowed myself to be influenced, and I've been able to fuse all of my beautiful influences into a story. And obviously, again, back to my Kenyan soul. I'm Kenyan. I'm a Luo girl from the lakeside. You know, my stories are very authentic. They're very true. I don't lie. I don't play. And when I get on stage and I perform in different spaces, people are able to actually share that with me. It's a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful situation. A lot of times you sit in spaces and you can sit and say you're listening to music, but you know, there's music that does something to you, there's music that doesn't. There's fashion that does something to you, and the fashion that's just like...
Okay, and let's see if Liz's collection does something for you. Let's take a look at some of her pieces, and then we'll have the models on the runway shortly. Right, and that's Liz Ogumbo's collection, right? Is this your 2015 collection, Liz?
Yes, what I've done is I've got like a few different pieces from different collections throughout the year. I'm a girl, I'm a sucker for African print. I've just kind of boycotted it for a while because I felt like it was abused. And I'm now coming back with it. I've got a very interesting juxtaposition, which is happening on the left right there, with just saying, you know, how do you wear your African print and still feel so modern, still feel so chic, very comfortable? I could say, let's go to the race course, or let's go to a wine tasting, or let's go to something fun in the daytime in that look right there. So those two looks are very that type of look. And then the middle look, the little sequin, I'm definitely a sequin lover. I love sequin because I am a star and I want to shine on stage, because I always feel like, oh my gosh, if I go on stage and they don't see me, then they'll be like, oh, where's the artist? So I'm like, I want to be very precise about I have arrived. So the sequin for me I use as more of an arrival statement. I'm definitely very big on the backs. As you can see, there's a lot of peep back going on, a really open back. I feel like the tutu, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't work. I love the tutu, and I'm going home with the tutu. I don't know about you, but you can send your tweets on. I love the long gown because it's very elegant. I live in Joburg where there's a lot of red carpet events, and a lot of girls get away with just a simple, straight, front split, peep back. This is like a standard, you'll never go wrong. On the right-hand side, we've got the black suede, like a velvety type of feel and touch. Definitely pushing it to the brocade side of inspiration. I did this for a lady called Renee Patel, who's a really close friend. She's running for Mrs. South Africa. But the reason I did this is because I hate black. I mean, I know it's very weird that I'm in black today. I really hate black, and it makes me sad. But I found that there's actually ways that you can put together and create black and give it a twist and give it some sass. Give it some youth, give it some freshness. So me, I find this very tasteful. This is not for every woman, by the way. This is my Liz Ogumbo pieces. These are some of the best of what I think I've done this year. And obviously, for every size of woman, you've got to know your personality. You've got to know your character. You've got to know what makes you, tick. You've got to know what makes you wake up and say, I feel like a woman today. And that's what everything has in common is, I am woman. Okay. This is how we translate it.
Wow, and have we seen anything as sophisticated on Fashion Watch? Hashtag is Fashion Watch. Let us know. I want to start with you, Annabelle. I want to get your thoughts on Liz Ogumbo's pieces here, and indeed what her vision is, what her inspiration is. What are your thoughts?
Well, I've known Liz, I think, for almost 7 years ago. I met Liz a long time ago, and we've seen you evolve. And you are a consummate showgirl. You're a showgirl. You're a singer. You're a model. You're a designer. And I think this is completely reflected in the collection that we see here. I mean, these are showgirls' clothes. This is not for sort of a girl, it's for a butterfly. It's for a girl who wants to be seen. I mean, the ones in the middle, I think, are real showstoppers. I mean, the peacock silhouette on the gown, the colors, the tutu. I mean, I'm wearing a tutu today. The tutu will never die. That is a classic silhouette for the girl who really wants to be noticed, as you said, Liz. I really love the texture of your blacks. I think when you're wearing black, it can be really flat. So adding texture, the velvet touch to it really sort of brings black alive. And then the more ready-to-wear pieces, the mixed prints. The mixed prints, again, they're not dying. They're staying seasonal. Again, it's a way of wearing mixed prints for that girl who really wants to be seen, really bold. This is a really bold collection, Liz, and it looks exactly like you. So well done.
And before I invite the thoughts of the other panelists, Liz, a question that's coming in immediately is your fashion brand, what it retails for in comparison to competitors, because a lot of Kenyans are opting to go the designer way. People want stuff custom made for them. So people are asking what it would retail for, and now that you're based in South Africa, how to even access you.
Definitely, we've got an online store on lizogumbo.com. I am talking to people like Annabelle now because I want to spread my wings and fly like the butterfly that I am. I want to make sure that we can be able to get staff into different spaces. Right now I'm talking to, I think if you log on to www.lizogumbo.com or follow me on Twitter at Lizogumbo, Insta, you'll be able to kind of catch up with us. But what I'm trying to do right now is saying the world has actually relocated, the world's living online, and we definitely want to push our sales online. Everything's retailing from about $50 up to about God knows what, so talk to me about how far we go. Some of the pieces, like the skirts right here, would definitely retail for about, say, you can get something for, let's talk in shillings, for about maybe between 6,000 to 10,000 shillings. The pieces, the other more glammed up pieces could be in shillings going for about 50,000 up. Okay. But it's reasonable, and there's a lot of fun things. And the thing is, I've also stayed away. I'm not a trend girl. I don't do trends. And the other thing I've also done is intentionally stayed away from doing collections per season, because yes, we may have spring and winter and summer in SA, but the rest of Africa is hot, and the rest of the world is on different seasons when we are on different seasons. So every day is a new day. I wake up and we design and we go.
Okay, Carol.
Well, I'm actually more curious about this collection than I want to express my critique of it. For one thing, there's been a lot of rumblings in the fashion industry now about how designers tend to think that there is a look that their brand should have, that only this kind of woman should wear your brand. So if you had to define the Liz Ogumbo woman, what would she look like? And also, again, where does Liz Ogumbo, the artist, end and the designer start, in the sense that every outfit you design should not necessarily be a reflection of you, but how does it reflect what the market needs or what the buyer wants?
For me, I think, first to answer your first question is back to, what was the first question again? Here goes my sleepy head.
How do you define the Liz Ogumbo woman?
So the Liz Ogumbo woman is a very bold woman. She knows what she wants. She's very aware of who she is. She's very confident. She's very bold. She's an entrepreneur or some sort of person who's really driving and achieving her goals on a day-to-day basis. The woman, I say, the reason I don't believe in trends is you can wake up in the morning, and that's why I say when it comes to things like who stole my look or whatever, or who's wearing what, I'm very like behind the scenes on that, because what makes you look good as a woman is what you wear will make you feel good, and what you wear and your choice of dressing is up to you, really. If you want to wear any of this, it's fine. If you want to wear a red dress every day, that's your own. If that's what makes you smile, then do it, you know? So I'm really back to saying individuality first, and saying forget about what makes, every woman is so different. We're sitting here, a few women on this panel right now, and what she's wearing makes her feel a certain way. Tonight, what you're wearing with a little polka dots makes you feel different. Same to you, Carol. So I'm saying this is for a bold woman. Number two, I am a fashion designer, I'm a creative. I am a musician as well in my own right. If I want to create, I create how I feel from my soul. Some people create based on trends. Some people create based on what's happening in the market. I create from my soul. And everything that I create from my soul is true. And the one thing I'll tell you is you'll never get away. You never lose when the truth is from the inside out.
Okay.
So you can design the way that you feel. I'm not a trend. I'm not in trends, and I'm not in, oh my gosh, what's happening in the world. I'm still aware of it, but I'm still saying I cannot separate Liz Ogumbo from my style, because it comes from my soul. This is me.
All right, and very quickly, Ian and Robert, before we go to the pictures of the day, we're pressed for time, and we also need to talk about Liz's musical fashion affair, which is coming up shortly. Please talk to us, Ian. What are your thoughts? Win, fail?
Very, very bold. The two on this side, daytime, and then showgirl, and then the evening stuff. Very bold.
Okay, excellent. And Robert?
For me, I like the lady at the end. For those of you who know me, you know, pick that one.
Okay, but at the end means
the lady who came in last.
the African
Yes,
print.
the African
The
print.
most covered up. Put it that way.
No, and understanding Liz's personality, then you understand her brand creation, which is brilliant. For me, I only beg that we also think of the plus-size women. Because I don't see much of what a plus-size woman would wear here, and they're naturally beautiful women, so please make something for the plus-size women.
Can I respond? I have 1 million pieces. Do you want me to? How much time do we have? Can I pull them out?
Okay.
There is something for everyone.
Okay. All right, thank you very much to the lovely models on our runway this evening. You look gorgeous, you look lovely. Those are beautiful designs. Use the hashtag FashionWatch, and we'll forward you to Liz Ogumbo if you want to talk to her some more. Thank you, models. Great. So let's take a look at what's been trending this week in terms of fashion and the looks that we've seen in the week that was. And we're starting with, right, this is the Cocktail Festival, and this is Eve de Souza, and she chose to go with a red high-low with red heels. I want to get your thoughts, Carol, on the Machi Machi, the choice to just go red all the way, and what you think about that.
I'm not a huge fan of Machi Machi, because sometimes it's very easy to make it go wrong. I've seen the most modern way to do red on red on red. It's to have different textures or different flavors of red, not necessarily the exact same red, which is what she has with her lipstick, her nails, her shoes, and her dress. There is a way to make it work without necessarily looking like you're a fashion victim. And in this case, she's crossed that line very, it's a very thin line, and you can cross over it very quickly. If she had broken down the accessories with a different shade, then it would have worked for me.
Annabelle, you agree?
No, I disagree. I mean, I think this is a statement. It's a block color. Eve, speaking of showgirls, we have Liz in the house. I mean, I think Eve has the showgirl in her as well, and her showgirl appeal is that, you know, she has that, she keeps that, like, she's not a trendy girl. She's a girl who kind of sticks to that sort of high-low, over, you know, she's a class, I don't even know what to say. I think she looks good. I mean, Eve has her own style. This is her showgirl style. It's a basic red color, and I think she looks cute.
You agree, Liz?
I don't like red on red on red. In fact, I'm scared of red. But you know, this is my own take. I just think that she could have. And then I don't like that high-low. I feel like the high-low could have done, maybe if it was a bit wider on the bottom and then smaller on the top. If there was some sort of, it just feels, it looks like she's going to Diani Beach, but with heels. I'm not really feeling it, but that's not my thing. But I like her style, generally.
Okay, what do you think? The hashtag is Fashion Watch. Please talk to us. Let's take a look at what else was going on there. And this is Sarah Hassan. This is a look that, well, yeah, we're familiar with on Sarah. I want to get your thoughts. Ian, what do you think?
Sarah, nice curves, and she always shows them off. I love it.
Robert?
This is a classic case of dressing your body very well. I think she's done very well.
Okay, great. Let's move on to what else was happening, and please tell us what you think. The hashtag is Fashion Watch. And this is Annabelle's wedding. Annabelle, the pressure, we were talking about Annabelle last week here, because she wasn't around, and she was like, and we're saying the pressure to look good at this wedding, you could not just have shown up without putting some thought into what you were wearing. So there's Patricia Kihoro, there's Suzanne Wong, and I want to get your thoughts, Liz, on this look. Annabelle's, we'll be talking to Annabelle about her choice of black. What do you think about this look?
You know what, personally, I don't like black, but I think the girls look beautiful. I think like they look like they just walked out of a Vogue shoot. And I'm jealous that I didn't even make it to that wedding. But on the flip side, I like the look. I like their looks. They look it's very simple, it's very understated, but it's still bold. The girls are there, you won't miss them. But very effortless. I like it.
Annabelle, people are talking about your wedding, and people are usually very conservative with their invitations, but you specifically said that the dress code is black. The dress code should be black. You wanted your guests in black. Why?
Well, I know that was an unusual choice, but it's my wedding and I can do whatever I want, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think when you're a stylist and you're a bride, I think those two things sort of come together to create this moment that you have to have. And it had to be a fashion moment for me. And I thought, you know, we talk about on Fashion Watch a lot how event organizers never really give their guests directions. And I really wanted my guests to know exactly, you know, how to turn up and show up. And boy, did they turn up and show up. And this is a great example of that. I mean, this is these are, you know, Wambui Kibue, Susan Wong, and Patricia Kihoro, all in one designer. Angel Smile, actually by Wambui Kibue there on the left. And these are girls, I mean, this is just perfection to me. Black interpreted in so many different ways. We talk about how black can be boring, but this is how black is absolutely not boring. This is just a snippet of the beauty of the guests that showed up. I mean, I cried seeing the guests, to be honest. I didn't cry because I was getting married. I cried because my guests were just so dazzling, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of them.
And am I allowed to say that Annabelle's wedding will be on the fashion show, the wedding show tomorrow? The wedding show tomorrow, so don't miss it. It's a must watch. You could borrow something from that wedding. Yeah. It was amazing. This is Sauti So. And I want to talk to the guys about this look, starting with you, Robert. What do you think?
Now, thank God they've come out of those shits. Now, this is what dressing is all about. You understand? They look suave, they look serious, they would perform. They perform like that, right? And they'll still walk in a board meeting and discuss business. This thing of dressing like you got lost somewhere and you're called for a shoot. Now, this is what dressing is about. They have all dressed their part. Even the posture changes according to the excellence of your dressing.
Okay, so a win there. And what else was happening? Let's take a look. So this is a chord rally, what's coming up next. And this is... Don't beg for pardon. This is Community MP Chris Wamalwa, and this is, of course, in support of teachers and the teachers' strike, and just saying that, you know what, pay our teachers. This is what our politicians have been up to. They wore school uniforms. Ian, I want to get your thoughts. Image-wise, and just in terms of just passing a message. Was this necessary, really?
Theater of the absurd. It was absolutely ludicrous and ridiculous of them to do that. It added absolutely no value. They should be... It's shameless. It really is shameless.
Carol?
Sorry, disgusting.
I'm not even sure what I can say to this. I mean, okay, yeah, Musa. It's just, there is a reason why uniforms are worn by kids who are in school. And it's because, you know, generally they're about, you know, a few times smaller, so it doesn't look as insane. I'm really not sure what the idea was here. It doesn't work. Nothing about it makes sense. There are ways to make a fashion statement. This is not one of them.
Liz, I want to hear what you have to say.
To be honest with you, I don't know what to say, actually. I'm just like, look, we need education. Education is key. Please get the kids back to school, but you don't have to do that. No.
And Robert?
I think what happened, they actually made people not get the message, because we were more making fun of MPs eating lollipops with still the sweet wrapper on, and we forgot why they were there. So I don't think they should have worn the uniform if they were to be taken seriously. So even the teachers, who they were there for, were the biggest losers.
I think they were there for comic relief.
Okay, and finally, as we close the show, please continue talking to us using the hashtag FashionWatch. Liz Ogumbo, tell us about your music fashion affair, and of course where this will be happening and what you want to achieve with it.
So the musical fashion affair is, I wanted to call it soirée, but everyone's calling everything soirée, and I was like, Lord, now I have to look for another name for this thing. So now we are calling it the musical fashion affair. This is where I get to fuse my music and my fashion live. I've got a 10-piece girl band. I've got 10 models on stage showing different pieces, and I've also got different music. And I feel like, again, I've got some new singles this year. I've got some really fun things I've been working on, and I feel like it's nice to be able to also just kind of do a countdown and show off the best of the best this year. So it's going to be happening at the Dusit on the 2nd of October at 6:30 for 7. Kenyans, not 7:30 for 8. Be there or be square. Actually, it's very exclusive, so it's invite only, but I know that Capital is actually giving away some tickets as well. For those who receive tickets, please, it's a red carpet affair. It's a red carpet. I mean, red carpet, baby. I don't know how much more to emphasize on that. Red carpet, okay? And I love to also celebrate style. I am a style girl. Style comes from inside, and I feel that it's so refreshing to just look at beautiful people wearing beautiful clothes, enjoying beautiful music, and beautiful style. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're holding it down at the Dusit on the 2nd of October.
Okay.
www.lizogumbo.com for further information.
And you heard it from the lady herself, Liz Ogumbo. Thank you very much for your time and indeed for sitting with the panel this evening. That's all the time we had on Fashion Watch. We hope you enjoyed the show. Talk to us some more. Use the hashtag Fashion Watch and catch us again same time next week. Good night.